Hey, what's going on? It's crazy to be back. It's been a while. My name is Sly Williams, and I'm an area director on the east end of Pittsburgh. So, for those of you who know me, you know that already. But for anyone new, I'm the area director on the east end of Pittsburgh, and it's been phenomenal. I've been for about 3 years, almost 3 years, with my smoking hot wife, Amy, and now my beautiful baby boy, Phoenix. And so, we are here, and instead of sending you guys newsletters, I'm not really great at that. My wife's better at that. I do usually a month-to-month update of what's going on, all the happenings, so you guys get to see really my point of view of what I do with meeting up with kids and hanging out with them, to meeting up with adults in the community, and just seeing all this come together to create community in a positive sense that points everything back to God. Now, with that being said, there's a lot to cover, and so I'm long-winded, so let's get into it.
Yay! Dun, da, 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 da.
Usually I do a month-to-month update, but for this time, I decided to just merge March and April together, just because there's a lot going on in a good way, and just really focus on the highlights of those 2 months. I hope, and hopefully you guys get to know me more in the way that I'm always trying to be around kids and creating relationships, not only with them, but people in the community too. So that's something I'm doing every day, but this was a great way to just really go into it. And with that, we had Campaigner Day. Now, with everything going on with COVID, clearly there were a lot of restrictions prior to this. So this was our first time as a Metro coming together and having just a sea of faces, young faces all together, social distance, of course. And it was an opportunity for us to just do a gospel proclamation, but then go right into just a fun time of activities with the people that you know in your area. And so it was a great opportunity for me to just rally up kids that I've been seeing one-on-one and having a couple guys here and there, but we were all able to come together in a room and just be together and just hang out. And it was a lot of fun. Here are a couple of highlights of what we did. So after the morning, we were able to, it was great just to be together. And like I said, Gospel Proclamation, AJ did a phenomenal job at, preparing a message. And then after that, we were able to talk about that through the rest of the day. And so we went to a roller skating ring and got to go skating. And then we were generously blessed with free lunch through Chick-fil-A. So shout goes out to Mike Osborne for helping us out with that. And then we went over to Sky Zone, the trampoline park, and you see kids just have a great time, just be kids. And I just always love that. I love when kids can just step out of perhaps a lot of the hats that they might be wearing, or a lot of pressures that might be awaiting them when they go back home, and just be kids and have fun and meet other kids and see that they have more common ground than they imagine. And so that was a lot of fun to do. Now, this sets up the transition. So check this out. So as you just saw, my man Jules was modeling a Young Life t-shirt, and it was looking nice. And he's a senior. I've been rolling with Jules for almost 3 years, and I'm going to miss him, but he's on to bigger and better things, and I still will be checking in on him and holding him accountable and just seeing him grow into the young man that he's growing into. But anyway, he was wearing that Young Life shirt, and to be honest, I'm not gonna lie, there were some kids that they got these shirts at Campaigner Day and they left them right in the van. They were like, I don't want this shirt. And that's totally fine. It was just something that came with the package of participating in that day. But Jules just wore it. I did not ask him to, and actually another student wore it the same exact day. And it was just so cool to see. It was like this just this small shift in culture where I was usually running after these kids, and now they are receiving it, and now they are telling others. Where kids were coming up, I'm like, oh, what's that? I like that shirt. Like, where'd you get that shirt from? What is Young Life? And in their own words, were able to define what Young Life was. And it was just, it was really cool, and it just encourages me even more, motivates me more to just run after kids and invite them into a healthy community, to let them know that they really do matter, that they do have meaning, they have value, they have purpose, which I always talk about at the end of my videos. So that was really sweet. As for track, that was the transition. Just being able to come into track, and now kids that I've been running with, or no pun intended, but I've been serving and coming alongside with, are now in these little pockets, whether it's cross country or it's track, or I met them in the lunchroom. Like, now I'm starting to see this. And also the leaders too, like, they know kids that I don't know, and they're in different worlds, if you will. And so it's just been a lot of fun to see that. And now at track, it's been fun because we as Pittsburgh Public Schools are not meeting in person Monday through Friday. So as of now, we're hybrid. So it's like 2 days a week, and that's still kind of broken down because it's last names of A through K and L through Z that are attending those 2 days. So that idea of dismissals, it still isn't as heavy and really not permitted. And so having track to be able to coach that, I'm still being able to meet the kids that I know, but also meet new kids. So that's been a lot of fun. But also it creates a pattern for me to have something consistently Monday through Friday that I can show up to. And then even on Saturdays, we do a lot of invitationals. So it's been fun. And the team is doing well, actually. Our numbers aren't as high. It's because a lot of kids are not coming to school. Like, they're doing classes online, and they live far away because it's a magnet school. So there's kids that live in the north side. For those of you who live in Pittsburgh, live on the north side, live in Oakland, Homestead, Hazelwood, Homewood. So they're just all over the place. And so getting to practices isn't as convenient as it is if they were at the school. But it's been fun with the kids that we do have. They're showing up. They are arising to what we've been asking them to, and all the work that we've been given to them or offering up to them is not easy, but they've been showing up, and they're working on their techniques and getting better. So it's been great. It's been great to see all those things kind of come together, even during this season where there were a lot of uncertainties as to how we would pull it off. Would you just look at that? That is a beautiful picture of Team Older Dice, or the East End of Pittsburgh team. And that was my man George. I mean, some of you guys might know Becca, Spencer, and Sarah already. Of course, Nix was in there, and Amy, because they are part of the team as well. But we had placement day. And so that is an opportunity where you have kids from Pitt, Duquesne, Point Park, universities all over, colleges all over, but also an opportunity. Now, recently, we've been able to invite people that we know in the community to come to be a part of Placement Day. And that's really just a one day to celebrate these people, men and women, that have been training and learning more about, one, what Young Life is, but also what does it look like, what does it entail to be a Young Life leader. And they said yes to that. And so it's just a way of celebrating them, because we ask so much of them. We're asking them to say, to receive rejection. Like, when they go to a school they have never been to, and kids might not know them, and when they go to invite them, they might say, "Get out of my face." And they actually don't say "get out of my face." They say something a little nastier than that. But overall, we asked them to count the cost, and they said yes to that. And so this is a great way to just celebrate them. And so it was so much fun. We kind of did it as like an award show, like an Oscars. We called it Places, actually. And it was just a great time. And so George is phenomenal. I love him. I've been gathering with George at the church that I gather with for almost 2 years now. And yeah, we just hit it off. We just started meeting up, and that turned into inviting him into a day trip. And he came and he got to meet some of the guys. Then we went to Top Golf, and the guys just really liked him. And George is George. George just comes as he is. He doesn't try to put on a facade. He's a kid he's a grown man. he is a guy from Chi-Town, and yeah, he loves classical music. He's a professional bassist, and now really getting into software development. And so he's very eclectic and has range and is desire to learn and educate others too. And so it's been fun to add that piece, because that's something that I'm not, to the team. And so now it's me, Spencer, and Becca and Sarah going after these kids and just showing up for them. And so salute to George. He's phenomenal. He's excited about the summer, and I mean overall just the rest of this year, but excited for the summer and going to camp. Okay, so for those of you who do know me, know that I not only do I coach cross country. To be honest, I don't know if I would even say I coach. I'm present for practices and meets, but I do love to run, and I've been learning so much because of the head coach of cross country and track, Flynn. I love you if you are watching this, but he's taught me a lot. But overall, I love just showing up because it's just a way for me to meet kids, to be honest. But I also love to do endurance racing. I've cycled across country twice, and I've done one ultra marathon. And so if you look at my past vlogs, you would see of 2 years ago I did an ultra marathon, and so I'm doing that now. But this is my first one that I'm doing for an area. There's an actual video that is coming out, so I'll spare you all the details. But I hope to do on May 16th. I hope to do 50 miles in 12 hours, and so I've been training for that. Training's going very well. I got all my sponsors in, and jerseys were printed off, and so I'm excited. It's going to be a great time. We hope to raise some funds for the area, and then hopefully make this an annual event, where this year I would do an ultra marathon, and then the following year we would cycle, and then we would just do that in a rotation every year. So looking forward to just inviting people that might not show up at a banquet, but we'll say, hey, yeah, I could help pledge, or I would like to pledge per mile. But I'm inviting them into not only the world of running and cycling, but also into the world of Young Life, and letting them know, like, hey, we go after kids, we love kids, and we just want to have resources available to continue to give them opportunities to soar. So that's been a lot of fun. As far as prayers, you guys be praying for me, praying for my family. Of course, my smoking hot wife, Amy and Nick. Check this picture out. If they're just not the cutest things. Amy is phenomenal mother, also wife, full-time employee at Pitt. I mean, she's crushing the game. So just pray for her and sustainability, and to remain sane. I don't know how she does. I don't know how she does it, and she loves me so well too. And she's my number one cheerleader. She actually has like the little pom poms and everything like that. She always pulls them out when I come home, and she's like, "Yay!" You can challenge her on that, actually. But no, you can be praying for her, praying for Nick. He's so sweet, so precious. He's growing, and he's in every little thing. He's like a little Spider-Man. Pray for our area. Like I said, we have a lot of things going on. We're getting ready for this ultra marathon. We are preparing to go to camp. Girls are going to Rockbridge in June, and then I'm taking guys to West Virginia. Actually, check this picture out. So that's going to be a little different. You'll see more. I'll explain that a little bit more. I'll flesh out West Virginia in May's update. But yeah, we got a lot of things going on, and so I'm looking forward to just continuing to open kids to different ideas, to process differently, to overall process and look at, this is my world right now. This does not have to be the model, the template. I can change that narrative. I can change my narrative, and know what we're inviting them into. And so that's been a lot of fun. You can pray for, we have a couple events as well, fundraising events. We're going to be doing a brew night, so I won't give you too many details about that, but that will be probably later in the summer. But that's going to be a fun time. It's going to be warm outside, be a beautiful night, and we'll be utilizing my committee chair's brewery out in Coraopolis. So be looking forward to that. But we are moving and grooving. Pray for kids. They experience and witness things they shouldn't have to witness. The reality is, in the month of April, there were 5 teenagers who lost their lives to gun violence. One of those students being a student at Taylor Alderdice. His name was Don Angelo. And I was able to go to his viewing and just really try to just be a support and just let the family know that we're here, but also to kids that I might run into. And so it's sad, but it is reality, but it's sad that a lot of those kids in those areas really have to think about when they leave their house, or if they're going to play basketball, or they're just hanging out outside, that they might get shot, or they might be around violent accounts and events. And so, yeah, you can be praying for them just for protection, but also that they would be a culture of change, that they would want to, that they would be compelled to want to change the narrative of what they might live in. And that's not to knock their community at all, not to say that every single day is super violent, but there's just definitely some obstacles that they have to overcome that I don't think people always think about. And so that we can get to a point of overcoming those obstacles. And so you can be praying for the kids. And yeah, I'm thankful for this office. It gets utilized a lot. Not only is it used by the Metro, but I bring kids here a lot for campaigners. We do wing nights, we do game nights. We try to do anything here. And just overall, that this would be always a place where kids feel safe and protected and loved overall. Yeah, and also physically me, spiritually, but also physically me as I prepare for this ultra marathon, be praying for me that I stay healthy and that I hit 50, if not surpass that. So got a lot going on, but it's all good things. I hope that you got good things going on, great things going on. If you haven't heard it from anyone else, hear it from me. You have meaning, you have value, you have purpose. I got to get out of here. I know you guys got things to do too. I'll see you in May. Peace.